But to cut a story long short, Ricky was really a fine young man. You just couldn't make it no better than him, you know. And I hope in God and pray that he's resting, And I bet you I got a good feeling that he is. And I want to say amen.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ricky's brother-in-law, Jenny's other half. Terrible habit. God seen that. Anyway, I just want to let everybody know. I know Ricky's standing up there smiling right now, looking at everybody here and the people who cared about him. Ricky was a special person. And one thing I can say, I've been with my wife for 42 years, and people's come and gone in our lives, but I've never seen something hurt her like when she lost Ricky. And it really took her down a long ways, because they was very, very close. Ricky called the night before he passed away, and we come home from where they had him at, and turned on the answer machine, and there was Ricky's voice in that night, checking on everybody. And I think about that because I think about everybody's right. Ricky worried about everybody else, and it was true. I mean, Ricky was there with his girlfriend, and she's getting chemotherapy, and he dies in the car. And knowing he's had problems and going through stuff all that whole week, but he did not care about himself. He cared about everybody else. And I'm going to tell you what, kids turned out awesome. Ricky ought to be proud of his children. I'm proud of them. They got my heart. They know it. I'm going to tell you a little story that's happened back of when me and Jenny first got married. Old Ricky. Jenny and I, well, we've been married for years, few years. And Hurricane David come into town, and we went there and stayed at Ricky's house that he was building. And we looked outside. We was always hard up for a Christmas tree. I mean, always hard up for a Christmas tree. I'm telling you, times was rough. Jenny would feed me bologna sandwiches with pictures of bologna. That's how bad things were. And I told her, you can keep the paper. I'll just eat the mayonnaise and bread. But that's true. That happened. But anyway, so we're trying to figure we're going to get a Christmas tree. And Lord and behold, Ricky's going to find this out now, I know. I know he's listening to me. Out in that front yard of that rental, that place that he was building, he had the prettiest tree. And that thing had the prettiest top on it. And we said, you know what? That would make one heck of a Christmas tree.
Julie that came up with the idea.
Yeah, Julie, the other trouble. These Websters are trouble, I know. 40-something years been married to them, so I know. But anyway, we looked up that tree, and I said, man, I ain't climbing up that tree for that thing. So Julie, she had a brother-in-law that he'd do anything. And you didn't have to pay him. He just do it on a dead double dog dare. We double dog dare you to get up there. And he climbed up that tree, and he topped that tree out. And poor Ricky would come around there and start talking. Just about the time he'd go look up at that tree, I'd get his attention. Ricky, oh, look over here at this right here. I did not want him to see the top of that tree. But it did make a beautiful Christmas tree. But when I think about Ricky, I think about that Christmas tree. God bless his heart. He was something else, but he would call, I don't care, all the time checking on me. Tell John I love him. how's he doing? And just like the rest of them, Nana, sister-in-law, and all the rest of them, boy, you better get to the doctor. Every little time I have a little chronic pain, they all holler at me, get to the doctor. Because they all worry about me. No fellow in this wheelchair is the same way. And he knows it. But they're a beautiful family. But they had a real good upbringing, because I'm going to tell you what, Miss Mamie Webster, there wasn't too much of a better woman that ever walked this earth.
Amen.
I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah, she'd make you fat. She would feed you till you couldn't eat no more. I mean, I used to be skinny till I met Jenny. And it was fried chicken. Here, have some more fried chicken. I done eat 10 pieces. Have a couple more. You want some carry home with you? But she was something on that fried chicken there and everything else. But yeah, she was beautiful. But the family's beautiful, and you can see by just their kids and their grandkids, they're beautiful. They don't see skin color. I was never taught that myself. People are people. We all got the same blood in us. We all came from the ark, you know, and we all going to heaven together. If you got a problem with each other, I don't know how you're going to go to heaven. And Ricky and Herman and all the rest of them, we know that. As my family, we knew that. I tell you what, if you didn't say yes ma'am and no ma'am to anybody, my daddy kicked you in the butt. There was no skin color. And so that's what people don't understand. We are all people. We're all brothers and sisters. We should love each other as Jesus loved us. He says that. That commandment he added, remember? But it sums up all the rest of them. But anyway, I can sit here and talk all day long because I am a talker. But I'm going to give you my son and let him go ahead and do what he's got to do.
If there's anybody else out there, come on out there, buddy.
This is actually the most, I don't know if you know this, but my daddy did look at you as a brother. Ken and I took Daddy to Columbia, I don't know if it was 3 years ago, to the hospital up there and stayed there. And I think he kind of freaked out the nurse when he told him that he had 11 brothers and sisters and one black one. But he was just as proud as he could be, and he did look at you as a brother, even in the more recent years. So, and he did love everybody. Now here's this horrible story.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I am Peggy's equal. I won't say better half because we're kind of equal, but I do want to share a funny story before I say a little bit more. I'm like Johnny. I'm a bit of a talker. The one thing I remember about Ricky is he had some funny stories. And when Peggy was talking about a few years back when he was up in Columbia, he was having some issues with his heart, this, that, and the other. Once they got his medication adjusted.
Heavily drugged.
Who, you? Oh, okay. She says Ricky was heavily drugged. But kind of once they got him his medication adjusted, we were sitting down talking one day, and he told me the story how Peggy came to be and their family. And I remember, this is hilarious, I remember him telling me, he's like, when they got Peggy, it was the lady that gave Peggy to Ricky. She's kind of like, here, you want a baby? And Ricky's like, okay. And he took it home to Fran and said, Fran, look, we got a baby. And then Ricky told me, he looked at me and said, I looked at Peggy, that was the ugliest baby I ever seen. I'll tell you, the way he told that, it was he had me in tears. I was laughing so hard at that story. You can't kill me wearing church, by the way. So, I just want to say that, first of all, like I said, I thank everybody for coming today. And, while death is difficult on everybody, we all grieve in our own way, and we have to process things. But just the one thing I want everybody to remember today is that this is a celebration of life. While there's tears to be had, and there's a lot of heartache, and there's a lot of time to mend still, I really would encourage everybody to take a look at these pictures, because some of these pictures below us, that's Ricky's life. turn around and look behind you. The folks in this church are Ricky's life. And I think the folks that showed up today, I think this is a true reflection of Ricky and the person he was. You know, I kind of thought I had the market cornered there for a second when I thought, you know, he called Peggy and asked, how's Ken? How's everybody else? And how's your mom? How's your dad? Well, apparently that was Ricky's way. He wanted to know how literally everybody was. You know, the one thing I can say about Ricky is, you know, he was a true Southern gentleman. He, I don't think he knew an enemy. You know, like someone said, skin color didn't matter. He genuinely cared about everybody, wanted to know how everybody was. And, you know, Ricky had a lot of burdens in life. He had the weight of the world on his shoulders, so to speak. Didn't matter. He was more concerned about everybody else. And that's, you know, that's how I'm going to choose to remember Ricky. He was a very caring individual. He had a kind heart, a huge, very kind soul, very loving individual. And he genuinely cared about those that were in his life. So, you know, while Ricky may be gone from us here on this earth, you know, he's always in our heart and he's always in our mind. And just remember, this is a celebration of Ricky's life. And look at these pictures, and you know, that's how we want Ricky to be remembered. I think if you look at most of these pictures down here, he's got a smile on his face, and I'm sure he's up in heaven right now telling God the ugly baby story. So, thank you. With oysters.
Is there anybody else? Nobody else. Okay. Oh, come on up here, sir. Take your time. Take your time.
Well, I'm one of the family. I raised in the house up with the older brothers. One of the brothers, one called Junior. When I was a small boy, my mother went to Jersey City for a weekend. And Junior come and pick me up on the bicycle. He said, "Come on, stay the weekend with us." I said, "I can go," because I said, "Mommy ain't there." I said, "I can go." And I leave, but I ain't never go my home more. That was my home. So we accept each other as brothers because that's the way I felt. Ricky was the younger one because when I went in the military, he wasn't born yet. But when I came back, he was a little old boy. But then he grew up, and all of us worked the Hilton Head together. And Ricky, well, back in that time, I used to drink and stuff like that. So he used to give me some money. He said, "Muck," they always called me Muck. He said, "Muck, hey, you give you no money because you ain't do nothing with it." Say, you spend some, and the rest you don't know where you're going at because you get drunk and you don't know where that. But you know, the reps are the bless the people in the world. My brother passed, the last one who passed was Dick. He told some people said the Webster is one of the best people there is. And he told the truth. Because I raised up there from a little old boy until I was grown, until I went in the military. And we all is brothers. So somewhere out in the other day said, "Where you going? Where you be going to Jacksonville all the time?" I said, "I been going to my brother's house." I said, "Man, I got a brother there." And he got a blessed wife, his sister, my sister over there, Francis, and all is one. So I told my wife, you raised up with him, that's why I tell my wife, I'm going to my niece. I was stopped by there, and I don't ever stop I keep straight on down to Jacksonburg. When I stop, I be in Herman House. You know, it's a good feeling thing to get somebody to care something about you, and you raise them together, and you get that feeling. To my brother, my sister, and his wife, you got the best wife in the world. Bless the wife. I mean, the whole family is nice people. And, well, I got older now. Back we used to work the Hilton Head together. And I spent the night with Ricky. Ricky come down and said, Mom, said, I need you for a couple of days to work with me. I said, man, I said, what, you over the hill? I said, I ain't gonna ready to get there. He said, you come stay with me, so I'm gonna carry you home with me. And he did. He carried me home with him. I stayed right in the house with him until I stayed for 2 or 3 days, then I come back home. When I was home, when I was at his house, I was home. And he always give me some money. When he come down here, and he see me, he give me a few dollars, he don't give me much. He said, I'm gonna give you a few dollars because you buy the whiskey with it. And that's back the time when I used to drink. But the Lord brought me out of that. I quit drinking, for almost 30 years now. I quit drinking and smoking cigarettes and stuff at the same time. I quit all in one day. I said I had enough of it, and I don't have to live like this. And I quit with it. From that day to this day, over 30 years, I never touched nothing no more. But when I come out of it, I went into church. I play this music in my church. I play the organ in our church. And I didn't want to play the organ because I was a piano man. I'd play the piano in the street. But I didn't want to play the organ in the church. I told the mother of the church, she said, God, you in this church because you can take my place. You can play the organ because I know you can play the piano. I said, Mother Jesus, I said, I don't want to play in the church. I said, give me something else to do. I said, I do anything except play music. I don't play the music. I play enough that in the street. But I started playing in the church, and I started liking it. And that's my job for the last 20-some years now. When I go into church, I go to the organ. When I first started playing, I didn't know much about organ. I played, but I never was an organist. I was a piano man. But I can play the organ now. But they sing, I can play with them. The Lord gave me the gift to do it. I didn't want to do it, but He gave me that gift. So I had it in the street, so then I got it in the church. So it made me feel good. When I go to church, I can go to the organ, I warm it up. When the service starts, I can play it. And this song they sing, I can play it. But going back to Ricky was a kind-hearted young man. If he can do you a favor, he'd do it for you. Because he done me a lot of favor. Because, well, I used to live out here in the country here, and he used to come to the house all the time, and me and him and Jack got up and said a good word about it. I enjoy that. You know, when you know somebody, and you know how their life living, give it to them. I had someone tell me one time, say, give me my flowers while I'm living. Well, that's true. Give me flowers while I'm living, but you're going to give it after you die too, because a lot of times people don't know who you was until somebody says something about it. And Ricky was a young man, he helped anybody. And he wasn't stingy or nothing like that. He helped, if he can do you a favor, he'd do it for you. And I know he's going on to the promised land, he rest, the Lord take him over. And you see him in the last days. I got to tell my wife the other day, and she said, when all these things happen now, people killing people, young people killing people, all these floods and all. I said, but we're living in the last days. I said, you can look for it. I said, if you look in read through Revelation, it'll tell you all about this. It's no strange to you. I said, when this thing happen now, it's not strange because we live in the last days. And the time is short. So if you ain't ready, you get lost. So this all I got to say now. But my legs have given so much trouble, but I don't think about that no more. I'm still moving, and the Lord still kept me. He was 12 had us in the family. So we had family union. So one Christmas way back when I was out in the street in the road, they all come home for Christmas from out north, and they all was talking. And my other brother was down here, Andrew, and someone said, wonder who could be the first one out to travel. So Andrew said, well, I ain't pointing no finger, but I think Muck could be the first one. And I said to myself, I said, he right. I said, that kind of life I live in. And I said, he probably gonna be me first, out to travel. So he said, why I said that, because Muck, when Muck walk in the road, he get high, and he go in the woods and lay down in the woods and sleep until he gets sober. And say, Ralph can kill him, but he don't know Ralph thinking gonna bite you if you don't move. If you still, Ralph will crawl across you, and he not gonna bite you. But I have believed that, and then the circle broke it. They start going one by one. I say, ain't me yet. So all gone, and a person asked me, say, well, Ma, say, all your sisters and brothers and died out, and say, you were the one in the street out there, and say, you still here. I said, well, I'm still here because he kept me. I say, my brother had me pinpointed for me to be the first one, but he said, I'm going to keep him for a good reason. He don't keep you for a bad reason. He keep you because he wants you. And he got me. Thank you, Lord, for this. And thank you, Lord, for Ricky. I know you can, I wasn't there, I talked to you on the phone, but a few days before you passed. But I knew you rested. Lord bless you. Lord bless everybody in here.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Is that it?